headsets up. I want to see if I can make sure my audio works better this time. Hold on, let me check this out. Sounds a little tinny. See if I can make that better. Testing, testing. How about now? Let's test this out. Testing, testing number two. And then testing, testing number three. See if that works a little. It all sounds the same, so fuck it. He's like, "What's up? I'm gay for old Riley Jones as well. I gotta come over here and show this shit because I'm going back and forth." Then, well, let's see. And he goes after this one woman, Natasha. Recline with Natasha. And I guess I'm gonna like put a link, I guess, under her video and just like put her at ease that this motherfucker's gaslighting the fuck out of her. I mean, let's be honest here. This dude does the same shit every time. He's sitting here. I mean, do you have the freedom of speech? Absolutely, you have the freedom. Everybody has the freedom of speech. You also got the freedom to experience the ramifications of that free speech or the retaliation or whatever the case. Yeah, that may be. He is far worse. You're absolutely right about that. Then, I don't know her. So, I mean, I just watched her for the first time yesterday. So I'm not going to make that judgment on her. You know what I mean, Riley? I'm taking your opinion and saying, yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, maybe she is. But, the way he acts, there's a difference between that they don't seem to understand, that him and his minions don't seem to get, is that there is legal and then there is ethical or, morally correct or what is moral. There's got to be some sort of a moral compass there. And he don't seem to be able to differentiate between the two. And so that may be Mr. This Dick, but yeah, it may be nonsense interactions. But I mean, it doesn't change the way that he functions and behaves. It doesn't change the fact that she has like 500 and 50 people watching her live. And what he's trying to do is sneak his little slimy ass up in there and get him some subs and shit. It doesn't change how he operates. Just because she's this or that. I mean, all that may be true. I don't know. And you know, but regardless, he still operates in the same way that he operates. He cannot differentiate between what's legal and what is moral. I mean, just because something is legal doesn't make it right. Just because something's legal, I mean, and that's what they can't understand. They can't get. Well, whenever it's legal and it's still wrong, you still have some legal ramifications that can come of that. And that's what they don't seem to understand or get. They don't get that. And it's something that's in their psychology. Something that's he's close Jackson her, and she has a good following, but I can't watch it. Just makes me bang my head against the steering wheel. And that may be true. Yeah, speech to text does that, brother. It really does. But I got the idea of what you're talking about. Yeah, he probably is using it for subs, but it doesn't change the fact that he operates in the way that he operates. That he doesn't understand that when I say this or that, yeah, I mean, I can call my boss. I can tell him that he's a fucking asshole and a dick and this and that right to his face. It's protected by free speech. But if I do that, there's a possibility that either he's going to fire me. If that's not the case, if he doesn't fire me right then on the spot, he may look for a reason to fire me later on. Or at the very least, he's never going to like me again, or not going to like me for a very long time. You have repercussions for that free speech that you have to pay for. Yeah, exactly. He's going to get butthurt. He's going to cry. He does the same thing over and over again. I mean, there's something in that psychology that goes on. He sits there and he starts talking about how she's triggered, and and she doesn't really deny that, but the fact that she's speaking on disliking his behavior, and is he not triggered? I mean, he's just as triggered by that. So you're not allowed to speak against him without him being triggered. But at the same time, you know, he wants but he wants it both ways every time. You can't have a conversation with the motherfucker because of the way he behaves. Everything he does is right, and nobody else is wrong. So am I? You are to Mr. Jones. So what's the point? Well, the point is that I'm just bringing up the fact that his behavior, the way he behaves, you speak negatively on that, he gets triggered. That's my point. So I was just bringing up that she's not fucking crazy. She's not being gaslit. She's being gaslit here. He's acting like she's crazy. There's something wrong with her. There's always something wrong with the other person. There's never something wrong with him. Have I fucked up? I fucked up big time all the time. I do it all the time around here. I mean, you say I'm a troll. Absolutely, I'm a troll. I fuck up. I do dumb shit. I know I do dumb shit. But he acts like everything he does is gold. That his shit don't stink. That there's nothing that he does wrong. And is it wrong to do, say some of the shit that he says? Absolutely. Is he going to get some negative fucking attention? Absolutely. You have to deal with that negative. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we all behave badly. But I mean, you have to deal with that negative attention that you get with your free speech. Whatever you put out there is what you're going to get back. You're going to get some shit back. That's the way it is. He acts like, oh, well, now, I can just, free speech, it all just falls under free speech. It's legal. It's legal. So therefore it's okay. Well, that's not necessarily the case. That's where you had some problems with your court case. It was legal for her to fucking go by that dude's house. It was legal for her to do that type of shit. It was legal, but it wasn't right. you know, and some bad shit could have happened. When you do that kind of shit, and so they make appropriate, judgments and things, and put different orders in place whenever, in order to correct that situation, in order to make it more illegal for her to do it, because she's dumb enough to do it just because it is legal, you know. And I don't know if it's autism, because I mean, I admit freely that I'm autistic. I got autistic issues. You know what I mean? But to me, it's a little bit of a deeper psychology there that's going on with this than just that. There's something else emotional and mental that's just not quite right. Right. Well, he probably did. He probably did work. But she should have been able to know better than to deal with that dummy. But are they going to stick around? Are they going to deal with this moron, or are they just there to troll him? What are they there to do? You know, um, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I mean, she's not. It's not her issue. She's not crazy. There's not something wrong with her. It's. I mean, it's obviously him. Between the two having that interaction, the issue is him. I mean, and he acts like he just can't see that. Oh, well, I don't see a problem. Well, there's something mentally wrong with that. If you don't see a problem with the way that you're behaving, or what you're doing, or what you're saying there, you got some issue. I mean, I can have all the people in the world, all the black friends in the world that come up and give me permission to just say all kinds of fucking weird ass shit like that. But does it make it okay? Of course not. Well, I mean, good for him. He got some donations out of it. Big fucking deal. It's about time he finally got some. Is he actually making some real money now, finally? Is he actually making a living? I mean, I doubt it. I mean, McDonald's could do better than what he does. He'd be better off working at fucking McDonald's. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying that, Homeboy's got some fucking issues that are deep seated. And and I don't see her as being wrong as what he was. And I don't think that he has any real understanding of what he does or says, or that it has repercussions, that it has real world issues behind it, obviously. But I found it interesting. I watched a little, checked it out. Thought I'd throw in my 2 cents. Don't really care what they think about it. Drove away from you two that used to be buddy. Well, we could go into that. How about this? Well, no, I don't have to wear a helmet. No, but what drove a wedge? I would say that he's created more of an echo chamber than he had before. He's become more sensitive whenever somebody uh, critiques him. You're not allowed to critique him anywhere. If you critique him anywhere, and he said this publicly several times, and I would say that a lot of that has to do with he had an ego there already, and somebody's been feeding that monster that fucking ego is for quite a while now, and it's just grown, and it's grown to a proportion to where it started causing fucking friction between him and other people. I mean, if you look at Frank DeRosa, he used to be friends with Frank DeRosa. He's no longer friends with Frank DeRosa. He used to be friends with Lauren. He's no longer friends with Lauren. These people that he used to be friends with, that were the closest to him, those people, yeah, pretty much. That's what I would say. I mean, if you look at Eli, some of what Eli's problem was for the longest time, and even since then, was Sarah in his ear. She knows how to feed that ego a certain kind of a way, where if you are susceptible to that, no, I don't. No, I don't. I mean, I have Asperger's syndrome, so I mean, I'm kind of like, um, in that same category as RJ. And everybody that has that kind of issue is very, very different from one another. I mean, some people will be in that element. Some people will be shitting themselves with these kind of issues. I mean, it's just the way it is. But I mean, but yeah, I would say that a lot of that centers around the fact that Sarah got in his ear, and his ego just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and she kept, feeding it in a way that has created this fucking monster of a human being that didn't used to be. And it's kind of a sad thing that you see this individual, end up having that issue to where their own, you know, shit gets used against them like that. It really is. I mean, it's a terrible thing. But nobody did it but him. So it is what it is, guys. I mean, if they are who they are, they can be whoever they want to be. But at the end of the day, you got to suffer those repercussions for that. I mean, it is what it is, and that's the thing with him is that he wants to say whatever he wants, do whatever he wants, but he doesn't want to suffer the repercussions of those decisions. And unfortunately, that's just not the way the world works. You know, it's just not. I can have whatever free speech I want, but I gotta deal with the repercussions of that. And, I don't mind dealing with whatever repercussions I got to deal with to say whatever I want to say, however the fuck I want to say it. Some of these people do, and he's just one of them. I mean, he just is. I think he was that the whole time to one degree or another, but I think that it made the situation worse. You know, I don't know if that makes sense. Well, I mean, certain people aren't going to like you, and they'll never like you. So, I mean, those are the repercussions that you end up suffering from that. I mean, if you can deal with that, and if he can deal with his repercussions, which if he could deal with them, then why the fuck is he worried about, what this woman thinks? If all he went in there to do was to go in there and get those subs, that's all he wanted to do, right? That's what he's telling people. Then why is he worried about what she thinks? Well, then why bother with her? I mean, she's nothing but shit, right? He don't care what she thinks or nothing else. Why is he bothering? Why did he send Mama Goonie over? Oh, well, it's just to get a rise out of her. Did that get him somewhere? I think he cares. He does care. That's the problem. He cares too much about what that other person thinks. But in the meantime, I mean, it's just like not a. Uh, I mean, yeah, I guess. But I mean, does he make quality content out of everything? He don't make any good content out of it. And I mean, if people ain't watching, then what's the point? If nobody gives a fuck about the content that you're making, which they don't for the most part, he's got a little following that's going to stick around, and that's about it. He ain't got much. He's got enough to make McDonald's wages. That's all he's had so far. I mean, what else does he have? Nothing. Any fool could have lived with their mama for 36 years and made, McDonald's wages and come out with as much as he had. Easy. Any fool can do that. As a single man, shit. But I thought it was kind of funny that he just pulls the same old shit that he always pulls. I didn't know if anybody else noticed that. Yeah, I mean, the drama is what makes it fun. I mean, when you watch a movie, they got a drama section, right? I mean, everybody loves the drama. I mean, name somebody that doesn't. You know, absolutely. But I don't think that she was loving the drama last night, was she? I mean, what about the way that she was feeling about it last night? Was she enjoying herself? I don't think so. So, I mean, enjoying the drama or having a good time with the drama, but hurting people while you're doing it, I don't think that that's a good thing. I may add to the drama, or I may do this, I may do that. I mean, a lot of us do. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, even Ronnie Jones adds to the drama, right? I mean, but for the most part, we don't hurt anybody or try not to. Not really. And that's the difference is he's trying to hurt people with his shit. That's the way he fucking acts. And he don't give a fuck about that at all. I guess that would be the big difference. And the fact that he doesn't understand that the idea that just because something legal, yeah, I mean they don't hurt people. They don't. But the thing is though, is that some people are going to get upset about what you have to say. You'll have to deal with those upset people in order to say what you want to say, right or wrong. I mean, nobody's hurt by that situation. But when you do that, you deal with the repercussions of whatever they are, right? If I say something negative about who the fuck ever, which I have, I got to deal with the repercussions of that person being pissed off about, it, right? Now he wants to fucking say what he wants to say, and then he wants to say, "Oh, free speech," and then not deal with those repercussions, or come up with some sort of a fucking middle reason why he shouldn't have to deal with it. Well, it's free speech. You're allowed to say it. You're just triggered. Well, then what are you worried about me saying something negative about you for? Well, you're worried about me condoning what you're saying. You're worried about me saying something negative about you, right? You're kicking people out of your community if they say something negative about you because you're triggered, right? Oh, he's not triggered. It's only triggered whenever you do it, but it ain't triggered whenever he does it. I mean, all the rules apply to everybody but himself. And that kind of shit didn't start until, like we were talking about, that woman got into his ear. That's when that kind of shit started. That's when he's not able to be dealt with at all by anybody at any point for any reason, ever. And she never has been either. You couldn't talk to her for shit. Some people you just cannot talk to. You cannot have a conversation with them. You cannot fucking say anything to because that's just the way that they are. Not that I give a fuck. He can do whatever he wants to do. But I'm just reaching out to her saying, hey, look, you're being gaslit here. This motherfucker's crazy. Something wrong with this motherfucker. Something going on with his psychology. There's something going on with his mentality. There's something wrong with the motherfucker. What it is, I don't know. You know, but it is what it is. Yeah, she did. She did break a steering wheel. You're right about that. But I mean, you could at least talk to that motherfucker at one point. You could talk to him and say, what the fuck? Now, there's certain things, like whenever I try to talk to that motherfucker, he still shut it down. I'd be like, man, look, this or that and the other is true. Because 1 + 1 = 2, motherfucker. And he couldn't handle that. Critiquing him on how stupid it is that you got to have this absolute proof that this individual did blah, 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 blah. And that makes him just that much more hard to deal with, too. Like if there's two people there and you sat down a candy bar, there's two people there on the bench, nobody else around for miles, and the candy bar comes up missing. There's only one other motherfucker other than you there. So that has to be the motherfucker that took the candy bar. You know what I mean? It's not hard to figure out. Shit like that. Like you could lead him to the fucking water, but you can't make the motherfucker drink. It was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So like, yeah, he couldn't figure it out. And that just makes it that much harder to ever pull him out of this fucking spiral that he's in. He'll never pull out of that shit. There's something wrong with him. It's unfortunate. It really is because you used to be able to have a good time fucking with Eli or doing this. You can't have a good time with that motherfucker. You can't. You cannot have a good time with that motherfucker. And just saying shit to offend people and shit like that just to do it, what good is that doing? Is that doing something, good for somebody or something? I mean, what did that do? Did that help somebody? I mean, they don't think about why they're doing what they're doing. They just do it. Let me say this word that's going to offend a bunch of people. Let me say that word. Dude, it don't make sense. It's all dog shit. The dude don't make any sense at all. But I mean, if he got some subscribers out of it, good for him. But I mean, he could have gotten possibly better than that. I mean, why wouldn't he go in there and try to be cool with these people? Why does he have to try to offend them? Why does he have to try to be a dick? Why does he have to look at it like, oh, that's legal? A lot of shit's legal. That don't make it okay, motherfucker. I'm out of here. Peace out.